I love it when we can do these right back to back. This is great. Thank you. Um, so we are here to provide your first touch review of the 25-26 general fund. And wrapped into that is the community development block grant that you just voted on. We take it all as a package. Our human services funding recommendation from the commission. Your packet this evening included the commission's final funding recommendation. It also gave a listing. The second section was showing all applications that were reviewed with any 23-24 award, 25-26 request, and 25-26 award amount that is recommended by the commission. And lastly, you have our PowerPoint presentation. This work is a huge part of the commission's work plan. So with that, it's really my pleasure to introduce you to our Human Services Commission Chair.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, my fellow commissioners that are in the audience here. My name is Sierra Howlett-Brown. I've been serving on the Human Services Commission since 2023 and transitioned over to be chair of the commission earlier this summer. So my first time in front of you, and I appreciate the time and our opportunity to present to you. So thanks for having us. And we're going to be providing you an overview of the biannual application process and our final funding recommendations for CDBG Human Service Funds. Yeah. So the Human Services Commission was created in June of 2017. Our current members are myself, Mark Manuel, who serves as vice chair, Fred Swanson, who is formerly chair, Carol Sandoval, Mike Heinrich, Maren Robinson, and Marie Barbin. It is an amazing, strong, informed, diverse group with a lot of heart, and it's been a pleasure to serve with them these past couple of years. Every 2 years, the city of Burien participates in a 16-city consortium that uses the same common application for agencies to request human services funds from those jurisdictions. Each funding cycle, the Human Services Commission is tasked with reading and scoring the applications received and bringing forth to council their funding recommendation for the use of Human Services General and Community Development Block Grant CDBG funds. The Commission's work plan includes time growing their knowledge and results-based accountability and creating their results and strategies, which were approved by council last February for this funding cycle. The Commission scored 75 applications with requests totaling over $2.4 million. From May to August, each member averaged 20 to 30 hours reading and scoring applications in this process for approximately 165 hours of total work. The overall human services budget, which includes salaries and grant funding, is just 3.5% of the city's general fund budget. Our funding recommendation covers $530,129 in general fund and community development block grants to allocate each year in 2025 and 2026. This amount is based on the funding formula of $9.23 per capita for the Human Services General Fund, an additional amount of $41,000 each year in CDBG Human Service Funds. To improve our community conditions and make positive impact on the social determinants of health, the city makes strategic investments in and builds partnerships around meeting the needs of individuals along the human services continuum. This balance of work addresses immediate crisis needs while also making investments in upstream strategies, programs that build resilience and self-actualization services. The vision statement and basic operational premise of the city's first Human Services Comprehensive Plan element and our division's work is that the city's role in human services is to support, fund, and advocate for human service agencies and programs working to better the lives of our residents and their families. These efforts, with particular emphasis on initiatives that are responsive to and accessible by communities who have faced significant barriers, are essential to the growth and vitality of our city. The Council approved 2025-2026 priorities and results, the continuum of services approach, and the human service vision statement were all used to inform tonight's funding recommendation for you all. This slide provides an overview of the RFP timeline, technical assistance offered to agencies, and the Commission's timeline and process. Commission uses an equity and social justice and social determinants of health lens across all our selected priorities when reading and scoring applications. As shared earlier, last February, Council approved the 5 results you see on this slide for the 2025-2026 RFP. They are equally weighted in importance. To review, the Commission recommends funding priorities to be given to programs that assist Burien residents to have secure, affordable housing, have living wage jobs, are healthy physically, mentally, and emotionally, and safe from violence, are ready for school, experience school success, and have positive connection to their community, and have a sense of community and belonging. The Commission's broader goals, in addition to how well agencies address the results and strategies, include selecting quality programs for Burien residents based on the needs in the community, cost effectiveness and efficiency, cultural relevancy to the population of Burien, prior performance, number of Burien residents served, and the consideration of how the service fits within the broad continuum of needs. In addition, the Commission could not overlook the fact that pandemic recovery is still very real. Wages have not kept pace with soaring costs of food, rent, and other basic needs, making funding human services vital. The demand has not slowed, and while we don't fully fund any one program, agencies rely on our investments to leverage other funds and fund sources so that more of our residents can be served. On the screen is the percentage breakdown of the Commission's recommended list of agencies and funding into the approved results. It's important to note that due to the intersectional nature of human service work, many programs ultimately support more than one result area. In summary, the purpose of this agenda item is to review the proposed funding recommendation as presented by the Human Services Commission for the use of the 2025-2026 Human Services General Fund and Community Development Block Grant Funds. This slide illustrates next steps, including tonight's meeting. The Commission looks forward to the Council's approval of our funding recommendation on Monday, October 7th.
Feel this real quick, and I'll close you out. This concludes our presentation. We are so grateful for the opportunity to serve residents and for the incredible work accomplished by the Human Services Commission. It is truly an honor to staff their commission. They worked incredibly hard over the summer, and it's very impressive. And it's been great to come with them as they bring council this funding recommendation. So again, Colleen and I really quickly just want to thank every commissioner for their dedication, time, and thoughtful review of each application. And we welcome any questions.
And I'm going to add one more thing too. As Commission Chair, I'd just like to thank these two, Colleen and Anya, for all the work that they've put into the Commission and all the support that they've given us. Very seamless with our meetings and come very prepared, and we're very thankful for all that they bring to us and to the city. So thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, and thanks for all the work for sure. Absolutely. Is there a suggested motion from anyone? Any council member? Councilmember Mata?
I moved the places on the next consent agenda.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded by Councilmember Moore. Would you like to speak to that? Or do you have any questions?
I just appreciate the work. It's difficult with so many people applying for resources, and we want to be able to help everybody, but then got to put the time, the dedication, and a lot of thought into how we make sure that our money stretches. So thank you very much for that.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? Councilmember Moore?
I concur with Councilmember Mata that the work you did was excellent, and it was also very difficult, even reading the list of applicants and the number of totally qualified, outstanding services that were not able to receive funding in this cycle. It gave me a lot of respect for the work you do and the difficult choices that scoring process makes. It's more than that large number of hours that you listed. It really is a difficult set of choices, and I want to thank you for signing up to do it.
Councilmember Akey?
First of all, thank you very much for reviewing all this. And I do want to thank the commission for I know that they spent lots and lots of hours reviewing all of these applications and carefully going through every piece and figuring out how to send out money and deny ones that unfortunately were not able to receive funding. One of the questions that I had was around housing. I know that we had 200,000 given to More We Love for housing for those in encampments. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the kind of housing assistance that some of these programs have. I noticed shelter assistance, possible rental assistance. Can you go into that a little bit more about the kinds of housing assistance that will be offered or met?
Yeah, I mean, you listed it pretty thoroughly. The recommendation includes support for the youth shelter program and as well as the Hospitality House and Mary's Place being our local shelters, and then a handful of rental assistance and utility assistance programs, which help prevent evictions and utility shutoff.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I think that, sometimes we're not fully aware of all of the housing options that we do provide from the city, and I greatly appreciate that that is a part of it, along with everything else that's being provided. So thank you for that.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, 6 yeas, 1 nay. Thank you very much.